Considered one of the world's oldest travel destinations, Egypt satisfies the hunger of those who wish to experience an ancient civilization. You cannot say you have traveled the world if you haven't seen the majestic pyramids, cruised the River Nile, rode a camel, and shopped in an Egyptian market. So, if you've chosen Egypt as your next vacation spot, then here are the top 10 places you should visit during your stay. Number 10. Cairo. Cairo is the capital of Egypt and one of the most visited cities in the whole of Africa. It is often considered the best place to visit in Egypt and is home to some of the most important Egyptian sites. Because of this, it is usually the first place most travelers go. The ancient city of Memphis, the beautiful pyramid complex of Giza, with its three main pyramids, Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure, the legendary Sphinx, the magnificent Bali Temple, as well as wandering around some of the other pyramids make Cairo unmissable. Lastly, you can never finish your tour of Cairo without going to the fantastic Egyptian Museum, which has treasures, mummies, and artifacts from thousands of years ago. Number 9. The Nile River. Among the major tourist attractions in Egypt, the Nile takes center stage. It has been the reason behind the rise of the Egyptian civilization and continues to nurture the great nation to this day. A cruise on it is necessary for you during your travel to Egypt. The river defines Egypt in all that it holds. It also has the best way to watch the ancient civilization it once was. The river bank between Luxor and Aswan is dotted with ancient temples. The sunset and the sunrise are also equally mesmerizing along the banks of the river. The Temple of Ka-Mombo and Ndufu's Temple of Horus are two of the main attractions you'll get to experience while on the river cruise. And most importantly, a cruise by felucca, which is a traditional sailing boat, is one of the best ways to cruise the river. They may not be as comfortable as a large boat cruise, but they add the thrill to the experience. Number 8. Black and white deserts. The appeal of Egypt's black and white deserts is quite literally black and white. These monochrome landscapes are like something out of a sci-fi movie, but the surreal scenery is a product of natural geology. A visit to either of these desert areas is perfect for a stargazing camping trip. It's the ultimate escape for anyone who's had their fill of temples and big city traffic. The White Desert and Black Desert lie just south of the Bahariya Oasis in Egypt's western desert, which is accessible by bus from Cairo. But here's a pro tip. While you're out there, make sure you visit Crystal Mountain, a natural rock arch surrounded by glittering walls of quartz crystals, and Jara Cave, one of the country's most impressive stalactite-filled caves. You'll need to crouch down to enter the cave, but once inside, the ceiling looks like it's coated in giant icicles. Number 7. Siwa Oasis. Far removed from the mayhem of Egypt's big cities, this little gem of an oasis is home to the Siwan Bedouin people, who follow a largely traditional way of life, and the town has so far been only lightly touched by tourism. The locals are Amazigh tribespeople, who have managed to preserve much of their linguistic and cultural heritage thanks to the isolated location of their oasis home. Siwa is often described as the Sunset Oasis, and its sunsets are indeed unparalleled in Egypt. So, whether you find a vantage point atop Dakaror Mountain or the ruined Shali Fortress, you're promised an unforgettable sunset. You can also expect a lot of mosquitoes, so don't forget your repellent. 2 pro tips for your Siwa trip. 1. Befriend a local for advice on things to see around Siwa, and try the local Abu Mardam, chicken or lamb, a spiced dish that's marinated for 8 hours before being put into an iron pot and buried under the sand to cook. Legend says your taste buds won't remain the same after you give it a try. Okay, that was a joke. But moving on to number 6, we have Abu Simbel. A UNESCO preserved site, Abu Simbel is definitely a must-visit place in Egypt. Even those not too keen on history will find Abu Simbel a stunning sight. More than 3,000 years ago, the Abu Simbel was built through the efforts of the great Egyptian pharaoh Ramses II as a sign of his authority over the Nubians. Then, from 1964 to 1968, in a relocation process that took almost 4 years, UNESCO relocated the whole site for tourists to still enjoy its view. UNESCO carried out the relocation in order to avoid the Abu Simbel from disappearing underwater due to the Aswan Dam. Visitors to the Abu Simbel can revel in the statues of Ramses II, the finely decorated interiors, and the painted walls. There is also a temple of Nefertiti right next to the temple. But all in all, the Abu Simbel will leave a lasting impression on every visitor keen on standing in front of this Ramses temple. Number 5. Luxor. The site of the magnificent ancient city of Thebes, Luxor is said to preserve a third of the world's ancient monuments between the pillars of its majestic temples. Luxor is situated in Upper Egypt, and it is quite comprehensible that the Nile River close to this destination played an important part in the lives of the ancient Egyptians as it does now. The Valley of the Kings, along with its affiliates, is one of the places which is what Egypt is most famous for. The sites are divided on the basis of which side of the riverbank they are. The East Bank holds the modern city of Luxor, whilst the West Bank is where history lies. With a plethora of buildings and artifacts sprawled amidst lush farmlands, it has also been called the largest open-air museum in the world. A sunrise hot air balloon ride will give you a captivating bird's-eye view of this city of ancient wonders. Once you're back on the ground, head to Hatshepsut Temple and Medinet Habu, two massive ancient architectural wonders that feature prominently on travelers' Instagram feeds, and cross the river to the Valley of Kings, the royal burial site of different Egyptian pharaohs. Number 4. Marsa Alam. Life is definitely better when you're scuba diving through colorful corals and swimming with dolphins, dugongs, and sea turtles in Marsa Alam's beautiful blue waters. Marsa Alam is one of the top spots in Egypt for underwater escapes. Popular dive spots include the Elphinstone Reef in Abu Dhabi, one of the world's top beaches for snorkeling. But if you're not a fan of water activities, there are a few things you can do on land as well. Head to Wadi El Gilma National Park, where you can lay back by the water, hike, or bike through rugged mountainous terrain. And if you're a fan of riding camels, keep an eye out for them at Sharm El Luli Beach, or take in the beautiful scenery at the resort town of Kulan. Number 3. Hurghada. According to locals, Hurghada is the oldest and most popular tourist destination in Egypt. It is also one of the best coastal cities in Egypt because it has white sand beaches and blue skies all year. There are many things to do and places to see, like the Gifton Islands, Hurghada Marina, Global Strait, Sinbad's Submarine, Abu Simbad's shipwreck sites, and Hurghada Aquarium. The area is so tranquil and serene that you'd be able to meditate if you wanted to. Hurghada is also one of the places in Egypt where you can go on desert jeep trips and quad biking. This is why most tourists spend their vacations in a coastal city like Hurghada instead of a desert city. Oh, and they offer a picturesque environment for those Instagram photos. Number 2. Alexandria. Another city with an unbelievably rich history in Egypt is Alexandria. While the city offers a number of exciting and interesting things to experience, two common favorites are the Alexandria National Museum and the Bibliotheca Alexandria. The National Museum offers an interesting and beautiful tour through the city's history, from ancient times to the modern period, and gives you a sense of how many cultures have crossed through the city at various points throughout history. Meanwhile, the recreated version of Alexandria's ancient library is a testament to modern restorative construction, not only highlighting the magnificence and importance of the building it pays tribute to, but also now serving as the host of many international performers, as well as a variety of great museums. Aside from these major cultural and historic sites, Alexandria offers visitors all of the cultural and interesting shopping one could expect from such a crossroads of cultures. Spending an entire afternoon relaxing, having a good conversation, and sipping on delicious coffee at a cafe in the city can be just as worthwhile as any of the major sites you visit. Number 1. South Sinai. When one is asked what tourist attractions exist in Egypt or what Egypt is most famous for, do not just stop at the pyramids. Mention them, no doubt, but also do talk about the beach life at South Sinai. The South Sinai lies in the Sinai Peninsula and has plenty to offer for everyone. Sharm el-Sheikh has a host of European-style luxury hotels and restaurants that attract international tourists like no other. This is one of the favorite holiday spots for Europeans, and you can see them through the many entertainment and shopping options that Sharm el-Sheikh provides. But if you want the taste of luxury and you're on a budget, then Dahab is where you want to be. Dahab offers lots of choices that equal Sharm el-Sheikh. There are affordable dive packages that can be availed and are popular among many families. Which of these places are you willing to check out on your next trip to Egypt? Let us know in the comments section down below. And once you're done, make sure you check out these videos shown on your screen right now. They're just as awesome. So click on one and I'll see you there.